How do you actually win with Facebook ads in 2025? And we've already kind of know the ad account structures you need to use, and I have plenty of videos on that on the channel. So we're not gonna be diving into ad account structure today, but we're actually gonna be talking more about the actual Facebook ad creative specifically, and the types of things that you need to incorporate into your Facebook ad creatives that's going to give you better results in 2025. Now, we first need to dive into, if we wanna create a great Facebook ad creative, we need to dive into how the algorithm works. Because once you understand how the algorithm works, then you understand of exactly the types of creatives you need to make that's going to favor the algorithm. If you favor the algorithm, then guess what? You're gonna do much better when it comes down to Facebook ads in 2025. So before we actually kind of get into kind of some of the meat and potatoes of the creatives you need to leverage, let's dive into first a little bit more about the algorithm, so that way you understand how it works. And if you understand how it works, you're gonna be able to create creatives that's actually gonna get favored by the algorithm, which is going to, again, make you more money at the end of the day. So I posted this in my free group called Active Marketer. If you haven't heard of it before, click link in the description. It's a free group where you can network with other marketers. If you need to hire someone, you can make a post in here. Just no self-promotion. That's the only thing I ask. It's a free community for fun. And what I basically posted in here was kind of digging into that algorithm and how to create creatives that favor it. And again, we're gonna kind of balance in between this and actually show you all some examples today of how to actually apply this as well. So let's just kind of dive into this. First thing that a lot of people think is that, who are the customers of Meta? Is it the advertisers, or is it the people that are actually sitting there and doom scrolling on Meta? And the first things first is that Meta cares much more by the people on the platform rather than the advertisers. And we already know that just from a pure level of support we get as advertisers and all these like random things that happen to us as an advertiser, that Facebook literally does not care at all. How many times have we had overspending issues that Facebook even openly came up and said, hey, there's an overspending issue right now, and we get a 20-cent refund. Facebook really doesn't necessarily care about the advertisers the way it cares about the people on their platform. And you have to understand that this is the first thing that Facebook prioritizes: the people and the user experience on the platform. From the people that are literally sitting on their couch and doom scrolling on their platform, the more people that are on their platform, the more valuable the platform is. And this is the next thing that you have to understand, is that if we're pushing ads in front of people that people do not want to see, they're trash ads. And a trash ad is not necessarily, oh, hey, we filmed it with an iPhone. A trash ad is not necessarily, oh, here's a very bad photo of the product. Because I've seen some of those ads work really well. A trash ad is an ad people do not want to see. And I've literally have a client that spent over $40,000 on a high production video creative agency, and none of those ads worked well because people didn't want to see them. So it doesn't matter how much money you spend on a particular ad creative. That doesn't dictate whether it's a good ad or a trash ad. A good ad or a trash ad depends on, do people actually want to watch that creative right there? And if people don't want to watch that video, if people don't want to look at that photo, guess what? Facebook's going to have higher CPMs for you, because they're going to tax you, because they're like, okay, well, we have to take their money because he's giving us money. So we're just simply going to tax that person on how much money we charge them for using our platform in terms of getting his photo in front of people or his video in front of people. We're just going to simply charge them more for that because no one wants to watch it. And it's disrupting our user experience, because people don't want to see it. If people log in onto the platform and it's always ads they do not want to see, guess what's going to happen? They're probably not going to want to stay on it. So from my experience, the ads that always get the best engagement are always the ads that outperform. And especially too, if you're following our structure where we do a CBO, we put new ads in, and the ad spin, it's considered a winner as long as it's hitting the cost per purchase that we need, or it doesn't get any spin, we consider that a loser. If you're following that structure, I have plenty of videos, best campaign structure to follow in 2025, how to test Facebook ads in 2025, all of these videos right here literally go over step by step of how to apply that structure. If you are using that particular structure right here, this is also going to give you better clarity on why some ads don't get spin and why some ads get a lot of spin. For us, the ads that always get the most spin are the ads that are the most engaging. Now, this is not necessarily, oh, hey, it gets a lot of likes, comments, and shares. That's why Facebook is spending more on it. Actually, Facebook is spending more money on it, and as a byproduct of an ad getting more spin, then guess what? It gets more engagement. So it's the spin that comes first, then the engagement. But what type of engagement triggers Facebook to start spending more on an ad? This is where we actually need to define engagement so you can understand, okay, hey, this is an engaging ad versus another ad that's not. And these are the things that you necessarily don't see, but the algorithm does. Facebook has thousands of data points on its customers and thousands of data points on your ad account to understand when you push a new ad, is it going to be a winner or a loser? Facebook knows whether it's a winner or loser with 10 cents of spin on it because it understands how people are reacting to that ad with what we like to call micro engagement. So this is not necessarily engagement, which you see as likes, comments, and shares and clicks. This is more micro engagement where it's, okay, someone's scrolling on their feed. Do they stop to watch your video, or do they stop to actually look at that creative if it's a photo, or do people, just swipe away? And if people are not stopping to watch your video or stopping to, look at that photo, that's considered like a micro engagement right there. The number of people that literally click on the see more if you have a long body copy to read more of the text. The number of people that watch the whole video versus only a couple seconds of that video. That's also another thing that impacts that. The number of people that literally click on the little comment button just to see the comments. They don't necessarily reply to any comments. They don't actually make a comment. They don't actually like any comments. They literally just look at the comments. The number of people that send that to a friend in terms of a share and stuff like that. All of these is what we call micro engagement. And these are those early things that we see within the first 50 to 100 people Facebook reaches. If the first 50 to 100 people that Facebook reaches, all of them are swiping past your ad and none of them are stopping to look at your ad, guess what? Facebook's not going to spend more on that if you're running a traditional CBO structure like we like to leverage. If a ton of people are swiping, basically getting it and they're watching that full video or they're seeing that photo and they're immediately engaging with it, then guess what? Facebook's gonna start spending more money on that. So that's where we have micro engagement, which earns the ad more spin, and then the ad that earns more spin gets naturally more likes, comments, and shares as well. So that's what you have to first understand. And you also have to understand that when you're looking at it from the perspective of micro engagement and stuff like that, when you launch a Facebook ad, Facebook kind of has a baseline for your account in the sense right there. So if you launch an ad, and let's say on average, you launch an ad and 70 people swipe past it and 30 people actually sit down and look at your ad. That's maybe your baseline micro engagement number. And then what'll happen here is, let's say you launch an ad and almost 90% of people swipe past it in that first 100 people that get fed an ad. Well, guess what? Facebook's not going to spend more money on that because based off your average, it's not going to beat that average right there. Now, let's say you launch an ad and 90 people stay on that ad and they love it. Guess what? Facebook's going to immediately start spending more because it beats your current baseline micro engagement number. Now, just being very clear here, there's no official documentation of any of this, actually on Facebook in terms of policies and things like that. I just want to be very clear here. I can't really forward you guys into anything. This is literally just me with over 10 years of running Facebook ads. I've been spending, money on Facebook now for over 10 years now. And I spend anywhere from $1 million to $3 million a month with my clients in my advertising agency. Coach over 100 students a month in my program. This is literally just experience, and the only way I can mentally understand why some ads crush it, get a lot of spin versus other ads that do not, and just the things I've seen. So I just want to be very clear here and just make sure I mention that because there's nothing I can really point you to from an official documentation perspective on this. So now that we understand micro engagement, now we understand how Facebook starts to prioritize things. If an ad's really micro engaging, has really good micro engagement, it starts getting more spin gets more engagement. The actual engagement you get to see likes, comments, and shares. And Facebook wants to entertain its customers, the people that sit there and doom scroll all day on Facebook, not the people that are sitting down and like trying to like force money on people. So if we understand all of those key things right there, then the next question that we have to start looking at is what creates an engaging ad? What makes an ad engaging? And this is going to first come down to understanding where are people at mentally when they actually sit down and start doom scrolling. Because an engaging ad is not, hey, make sure you hit the like button below. Hey, make sure you hit the comment button below. Hey, make sure to watch this full video. Like, you telling people that, it's actually gonna push people further away. So for me, it's going to be more looking at what is going through people's minds at the time they are presented with an ad. And this is where you have to start to understand your own scrolling habits. When do you scroll the most on social media? It's gonna be, oh, hey, I'm 30 minutes early at a restaurant and I'm waiting for some friends to come. I'm probably just gonna doom scroll until my friends get here. Maybe I'm in line at the DMV, for example, and like you sit down and you want to scroll for a little while, doom scroll for a little period of time right there, just to kill some time. Maybe you had a long, stressful day at work and you just need to like mentally escape for a little while, and you sit down on your couch for 2 hours with your glass of wine and you sit down and doom scroll. So a lot of people that sit down and scroll on social media, they are mentally escaping reality. Why do they want to mentally escape reality? And that's because this is not giving them dopamine they need. So what they do is their brain is subconsciously searching for dopamine. Dopamine is that feel-good emotion. When was the last time you found like a brand new TV show you've never seen before and like you immediately want to binge watch it because you've never seen it before? It was really entertaining. It released a lot of dopamine, feel-good emotion there. So same thing with social media. I mean, there might be a new favorite, I don't know, maybe like you have a lot of cars on your Instagram reels or a lot of workout videos and stuff like that. Maybe you're just getting into like shooting guns and stuff like that, and you have a lot of videos on like different guns and stuff because it's releasing dopamine when you watch those things right there. And it also allows you to escape reality that's not giving you dopamine. When you are in high dopamine environments, you tend to use social media less. When you are traveling, I know for me, I just got back from a trip from Breckenridge, Colorado with my family, and I barely used social media the whole time because there was so much dopamine going around me, with like going check out all the places, having some drinks, hanging out with my family and stuff like that. It's not like I had an addiction to scrolling, it's just I had an addiction for dopamine. And that addiction for dopamine was being satisfied by the trip because there was so much things going on in front of me that was new stimulants for me. Whereas I might be in like my normal cycle of a day-to-day back home, I'm gonna be scrolling a lot more because I don't have as much dopamine compared to like a trip like that. So to kind of pull things back, you have to understand that, because once you understand that thing right there of what triggers dopamine, why people scroll, and the mindset people are in when they're scrolling, then it allows you to understand the type of ads you need to create. You need to create ads that trigger dopamine. Now, to trigger dopamine, this is where you still need some level of guidelines, because it's also going to, it also could basically be a black box right there. This is like, if I wanted to trigger dopamine in an ad, I could go show the opposite sex almost like half naked in the ad in the beginning, and then boom, that's going to trigger dopamine. But from an advertiser perspective, I know I still need to achieve an objective of reaching the right person. I still need to achieve an objective of hitting some type of dollar amount in terms of like an ROI. So I can't just do anything to trigger dopamine. I still have to have a certain set of things that I need to showcase in the ad to attract the right person and still achieve an objective through that ad creative to achieve a result of an ROI on ad dollars to grow my business and make more money with Facebook ads. So this is where it goes back to what's going to trigger that dopamine. And this is where it goes back to, what do people want? Typically, things people want are the things that's going to trigger the most dopamine when they look at those things. So like, for example, my Instagram reel is like almost all traveling, cars, watches. Like, that's the main things, right? Because that's stuff I like. It's also stuff I want. It's new watches I want. It's new cars I want. If you look at a lot of, like, I don't know, let's just say like money Twitter, for example, they're constantly flexing Shopify screenshots. Why? Because those are the things that gets the most engagement, gets the most dopamine rolling when people see that. When you flex a car, it gets people's dopamine rolling because they want that car right there. And again, everyone has different wants and different desires in life. A want is a desire, just to be very clear there. So a desire is just simply what people want in life. If someone is overweight and they want to get ripped, then guess what? A lot of people that are ripped, whether it's a female or a male, are going to attract their attention on Instagram Reels or Facebook ads and all that's good things right there. If someone is broke, then someone flexing a car and saying, here's how I purchased this car, and then going into how they did it with Facebook ads, that's going to trigger dopamine because it's showing off the car, it's showing off what they want. And then the logical aspect is here's how to do it with Facebook ads right there. So what's going to trigger dopamine is calling out something people want. And you can also look at it from a flip side. It's what are people struggling with too as well. So you can actually either go what people want or what people are struggling with. So another thing is maybe you're struggling with a problem, then dopamine will be triggered once you find the solution to that problem. So calling out that problem and showing the solution for it is also another way to trigger dopamine right there. Now that you understand all this, it's important to understand how to use it effectively. So I actually do have a few examples for y'all today so we can actually kind of dig deep into this, because where a lot of people make like problems in their ad is that they don't know how to properly trigger the dopamine, and when they make an ad, it's just all about the product. And again, what triggers dopamine is going to be based off what people want. So if you're talking only about your product, people do not want your product. People don't give a about your product at all. People want what your product can help them do. So if we're consistently talking about your product and not talking about what people want, it's going to bore people and they're going to swipe. Because again, they came to social media to mentally exit from the reality that they're trying to escape right now. So for us to effectively create a good Facebook ad, we need to be 80% about what they want and about 20% about what our product is. Because they still need to have the logical aspect of what their product does, how does it help them, but we still need to be dominantly focused on the dopamine aspect of what they get from watching that Facebook ad or looking at that Facebook photo ad and stuff like that. And the next key thing here is you need to be able to flip between these. So it's not like 80% dopamine product or product dopamine. It's like product dopamine, a little bit of product dopamine, a little bit of product dopamine. So it's kind of bouncing back and forth because that's what captures their attention. When you talk about something for too long, that's usually where you struggle with when it comes down to keeping someone's attention. When you lose someone's attention, that means the dopamine's not being fired anymore. You lose attention when you talk about boring things that people do not care about. People don't care about things they don't want. What do people want? And that's where you circle back to that. And that's where you're constantly bouncing back and forth with that. So I made a couple examples for y'all today of these ads that, like actually putting it in action right here. So this one is an example of where we talk too much about the product and too logical. And we talk about things people do not care about. So we do a good job with the hook. We call out a desire, a want. This is people that want to be able to spend over $100,000 profitably with their Facebook ads. So we're calling out what they want. And then we start talking about the product. Here's the secret to creating Facebook ads that spend over $100,000 profitably. Boom, dopamine. Like secret things that no one's talking about also kind of triggers this mental like dopamine because it's like, ooh, what's the secret? It's like this new exciting thing right there. And then to creating Facebook ads that spend over $100,000 profitably. So think about it. I say Facebook ads that spend over $100,000. Facebook's ads that spend over $100,000 means nothing. But Facebook ads that spend over $100,000 profitably, that immediately triggers something. Because it's not, hey, you just spend a lot of money. It's, hey, you spend a lot of money profitably. What is this? I got to know. And that's where we dive into there. Here's the secret to creating Facebook ads that spend over $100,000 profitably that no one is talking about. It's called emotion baiting. It's the art of brainwashing people using their own desires against them. This was first discovered by Eugene Schwartz in 1996 in the book Breakthrough Advertising. People have wants, and these wants are what drives their actions. Subconsciously, we have hundreds of different desires going on in our mind at all times. In order to be an effective advertiser, you must be able to cast out a hook. It grabs these desires and draws people into your ads. This is what will make your ads get more spin versus ads that do not spin at all. I put together a 30-minute training going over what people often get wrong in their ads, preventing them from scaling, what is emotion baiting, and exactly how to apply the strategy into your ad account. Click below to access a free training now before your competitors see this ad. Now, let's look at this again from a dopamine perspective here. We talked a lot of logical stuff in this particular creative right here. We didn't talk much about what people want. We called out what people want, but then the rest of the ad was just focused on the product. Here's the product, here's the strategy, here's what makes this strategy cool. But we didn't continue to build the vision in their mind of what they want. Again, what they want, not what we want them to want, what they want. We didn't continue to play off that vision right there. So, as far as this ad doing well, it probably hooked people in well, but it would have a terrible watch time because we quickly bore people. This is interesting for me because these are things I care about. But for the mass market of people that just want to spend more money on Facebook ads that's never been exposed to this stuff before, they will not give a fuck about that. And guess what? If they don't care about it, they're not going to watch it. If they don't watch it, it's going to have a lower micro engagement and it's not going to get spin that they want. So very bad right here. I'm going to mark that as red. So let's go to the next one. Here's the secret to creating Facebook ads that spend over $100,000 profitably. I tried maintaining the same hook for y'all, just to kind of really show y'all a better example. Here's the secret to creating Facebook ads that spend over $100,000 profitably that no one is talking about. Since I discovered this over 30 days ago, I've been able to make 5 ads that have spent over $100,000. And I could probably actually add profitably again right there. Boom. So let's just kind of, before I keep going through this, I call out what people want. This is kind of like, you're losing me. And then I capture their attention again. I've been able to make 5 ads I've spent over $100,000 profitably. I'm recatching their attention based off what they want and kind of highlighting that again. It's called emotion baiting, and it's the art of brainwashing people into buying your product. That's it. That's the only key things they need to know about my product. I'm introducing the mechanism, and then I'm telling them how the mechanism works in a simplistic way as possible. If you spend too long digging to how the mechanism works, then guess what? It's not going to entertain the people, because again, people do not care how the product works or care what the product is. They care about what they want. And then I simply just need to give them enough information to solve the logical aspect, which is, hey, we're going to spend 80% of this ad in the what they want, but 20% of it is going to be what the mechanism is and how the mechanism works. You can easily spend weeks randomly tossing up creatives to Facebook and trying to figure out what works while wasting a ton of money. So now I'm kind of calling out just their situation, what they're probably doing right now. So let's just say right here, all of this is about the product. Now we're kind of go back into what they want, or know exactly what you need to say to get someone to buy every time of emotion baiting. I've shared this with a few of my friends on Discord, and almost all of them are able to find at least 3 new ads that have scaled their ad account to $100,000 profitably. So now I'm also showcasing other people that have had success with this. I've had success with it. Here's some friends that have had success with it. I'm showing them from multiple different facets of how the reality is of what they want. So that's also another key thing that I'll also bring up in this, and you guys can screenshot this. This is from my book, and if you want my ebook, it's right below, ads.scalebook.com. These are different ways to showcase someone's desire, because if you just keep showcasing someone's desire like this, and just saying it the one way, it's powerful, but not nearly as powerful as if you hit it from multiple different angles. And so these are just different ways to show someone's desire being satisfied. And this is where I got this from this book called Hypnotic Writing. And this is literally the only thing I took value from. So just being very transparent there, where a lot of people say you need to see an ad 7 times before you buy a product. When the reality is you need to see your desire being satisfied at least 3 to 7 times before you'll buy the product. And that can be done with one ad right there. So for me right here, I'm showing from multiple different angles of how someone's desire has been satisfied. So I've shared this with a few of my friends on Discord. Almost all of them have at least 3 new ads. That's going to be I think it's experts, other people, customers commenting on the desire. Two of my students applied this strategy to their ad account as well. And guess what? One took their family to Hawaii and the other bought his first supercar. That's actually real success story right there. I've had two inner circle students buy supercars, and I've had one inner circle student take his family to Hawaii. So that's actually very real right there. For all those who want to know about the inner circle, it's linked below. After struggling with ads for years, they found the cheat code. So a lot of people are always like on the hunt for like the cheat codes. I want to call that out right there. There's never been a faster way to scale your Facebook ads in 2025. This one right here is going to be the speed of which they get their desire satisfied. And if you're serious about locking in this year and printing a bag, this is using some money Twitter lingo right here because I know my audience, the type of people I'm trying to market to. I put together a 30-minute training going over what people often get wrong in their ad accounts, what is emotion baiting, and how to apply a strategy into their ad account. So if we look back at this right here, we talk a lot to that dopamine, that mental masturbation is what I like to call it as well, where like the people that like to sit down and look at supercars all day, or the people that like to sit there and post motivational quotes all day, or the people that like to talk about their goals on the internet that actually haven't achieved any of those goals. All of this is mental masturbation. And I'm showing that right here. I'm showing the ads that spent over $100,000 profitably. I'm showing that I've had some friends also achieve this success. I'm showing the screenshots of those friends right there. I'm showing, my two students that also applied this. I'm showing the trip that they took. I'm showing the supercars and stuff like that they have and everything. I'm showing how fast it took to scale the account using this strategy right here. Majority of this ad is focused on the actual aspect of what people want, and very little is it tied to the actual mechanism and how that mechanism works, which again, we spent a lot of time in this right here. So this is very good. I really like this ad right here. And then you'll see, put together a 30-minute training going over, and then boom, boom, boom. And this is where I'll send them to like a VSL page where then it goes into all this logical stuff. So again, you have parts of your sales process where you will be a lot more logical than other parts. For me, when I'm actually looking at it from the perspective of, like the Facebook ad creative itself, I want to spend very little time on the product and how the product works. But the page I send them to, I may have a lot more information. So I could send them over to VSL, where the whole VSL is talking about emotion baiting, how it works, why it's a superior strategy, and how they can take action, whether I send them to my course or whether I send them to like my agency or something like that. So just being very transparent right there of how that works. There will be another time in the sales process. It's just, I want to get them off Facebook when I do that, because if they're on Facebook and I'm boring them, I'm not getting their dopamine. Guess what? They're swiping, just like all of the other ad creatives that they've done as well. Now, I want to show y'all one more. And this is another thing that I've also talked about, which is like an unaware, more like storytelling style ad. How Facebook ads bought me this $15,000 ski trip for my parents. Very real post as well. So if you want to be able to treat your parents and friends to nice trips like this 5-star resort I'm staying at in Aspen, then you need to be able to actually turn a profit from Facebook ads and not keep burning money like almost 90% of advertisers. More profits equals more trips and fun stuff. Just take a step back here real quick. So I'm calling out something crazy. Like I'm talking about a big win, specifically a universally accepted big win, which is like, like a getaway trip, buying a supercar, randomly finding $10,000 in your pocket. Just like things that I know a mass market of people will want. Whereas if I call out, here's how to create a Facebook ad that spends over $100,000 profitably, this is going to be a very small market of people. This won't even be beginners. This is going to be people that have been running Facebook ads for a while, already aware of like creating Facebook ad creatives and like, trying to like scale Facebook ad creatives. And, people that actually genuinely are trying to hit $100,000 from a single Facebook ad. That's gonna be a very small market of people. Whereas this one right here, this is going after a much broader market of people, but I'm still kind of hitting on that like Facebook ads metric right there. So I'm still appealing to people who know about Facebook ads or are interested in Facebook ads right there. And then right here, I'm just painting that picture. I'm painting the picture of what people want, while also to creating more of like the problem they're experiencing right now, since this is more of an unaware ad right here. But what keeps majority of advertisers from not being able to profit is they do not know how to make ads that spend money profitably. This is the secret that allowed me to start making money with Facebook ads and afford this ski trip for my parents. And I could like if I would actually be filming this ad, I would literally be holding a camera up, Ty Lopez style, here in my garage, but I would literally be filming this at the ski trip that I'm at. And this won't be like a sit down and just talk to the camera type thing like this. This is the secret that allowed me to start making money with Facebook ads and afford this ski trip for my parents. It's called emotion baiting, and it's the art of brainwashing people into buying your product. Again, product, how the product works in the simplistic way, and then I go straight into, again, keep like building on that desire. 2 of my students applied this strategy to their ad account as well, and guess what? One took their family to Hawaii, and the other bought his first supercar. If you want to learn more how to apply emotion baiting, I put together a 30-minute training going over, and I've already kind of mentioned that a couple times right there. So notice how I've really focused on Hawaii and supercar. I didn't really talk about spending over $100,000 profitably. Why? Because I was going after more unaware people, and I was starting off with the people that want to travel, want like this big trip. And I only want to really focus on the benefits around being able to go on these cool trips due to Facebook ads and how this strategy allowed that to happen right there. So I just want to be very clear on that. That's why I didn't call out spending a ton of money profitably, because that's not the type of people I wanted. This is more of an unaware people, a less in-market people that I'm going after. And again, to go after an unaware, what I like to look at is the benefit of the benefits, just an easy way to start with an unaware ad. So one of the benefits of this strategy of motion baiting is making ads that spend money. So what is the benefit of making more ads that spend money? More profits for me. What happens if I make more profits? I can level up my lifestyle. I can buy cool trips, buy cool cars, things like that. And then I'm just simply flipping that around and starting off with that big ass lifestyle, and then just going all the way down to how you can achieve that with emotion baiting. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This was a fun video to make here, and I hope this helps you crush it in 2025 with Facebook ads. If you have any questions, drop them below in the comments, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you want me to come in your business, basically do all the research, write your Facebook ads, film your Facebook ads, and actually scale your Facebook ads for you, then click the link below to have Nick Theriot run your Facebook ads. Yes, me, not a team. I actually do all that for you. And then if you want to be my mentoring program where I hop on one-on-one calls with you and actually review your account and give you specific advice, then click the link below to Nick Theriot's Inner Circle. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you have a good rest of y'all day. Peace out.